This is Eugene Panrutkovich. I'm the laptop screen doc, and the name of the website is www.screensurgeons.com. Today we're going to talk about the HP Chromebook 11 G5. The reason is there's 4 different versions of these Chromebooks, and I want to point out the differences between those because the parts used to repair these are different for each version. So let's get started. The first distinction is there's the Education Edition version of the Chromebook 11 G5 and the non-Education Edition version of the Chromebook 11 G5. The Education Edition, it's ruggedized, and the way to tell is that there's this rubberish band around the edge of the Chromebook, whereas the non-EE version does not have this rubberish band. That's the first way to tell the difference. The second way to tell the difference is to look at the model number on the bottom of the laptop. The Education Edition will have a EE at the end of the model number. Alright, the second distinction is both these versions have a touch and a non-touch version, so that's why you have 4 versions in total. Let's start with the Education Edition. When you open both of these guys up, they look almost identical. There's no difference when you look at the screen. Other than the touch version, it has a glossy screen, and the non-touch version has a matte screen. For the Education Edition, the touch layer is integrated into the screen assembly. So we're going to turn this off again, and you can see that this one is touch. Also, for the Education Edition, the keyboard replacement, the keyboard assembly is the same for both Education and Edition versions, but once again, the touch screen is different and they're not interchangeable. You cannot put a touch screen in a non-touch and vice versa because the connector is different. Okay, so let's close these and look at the non-EE version. There are a lot of schools out there that are using the non-EE version, and let's open these up. And there is a difference in the way the screen assembly looks. For the touch version, the touch layer is separate from the LCD screen itself, so there's a glass on the front of the LCD screen. And for the non-touch version, there's just a plastic bezel, so it's pretty easy to tell. And the keyboard assembly is the same for those two. Now let's move on to the battery. The battery is the same for the non-EE version, both for the touch and the non-touch, and the battery for the EE version, it's the same for these two, but the batteries for these two is different than the batteries for these two. So what's interchangeable? The LCD screen for the non-touch version is interchangeable between the EE and the non-EE, and that's the only part that's interchangeable between the two. So let's go over it again. Battery for these is different than the battery for these. Keyboard for these is different than the keyboard for these, and each of them has an individual screen except the non-touch version. So I hope you get this straight. We have parts available for both these versions, the touch and the non-touch, and if there's any questions, we can answer the questions so that we can send the right parts to you. Okay, that's it. Once again, my name is Eugene Panrutkovich. I'm the laptop screen doc, and the name of the website is www.screensurgeons.com. Thank you very much, and good luck.